before we do any like heavy construction on site, we're going to make sure that the building works with string. That's right, the very first thing you do as a builder is you string it out.
We're going to have to build a frame, I think.
Yeah.
That they're going to be up high.
Yeah. I want to reduce how high that is out of the land. Hey, I'm Josh, a builder here in New Zealand, and let me introduce you to that build up there. Previously, we went unconditional on the site, we locked in a design, and we struggled our way through the building consent process. Today, I can finally show you some action on site, and everything that we've put on paper is about to become real. Coming up, I'll introduce the designer that helped me lock in the levels. We'll show you the setup plan in detail. I'll talk about why the house looks so high out of the ground, and stick around to the end of the video where I'll explain why I started to doubt the design, but how we resolved this on site.
Thankfully I've got... Oh, he does have his apron.
So my main goal today is that Wade has been building a bunch of houses for me for a number of years. He's the man. Wade and I are going to set out the corners of the lounge. The main reason for that is to start getting our head around Earthworks. We've got a digger coming next week. For me, there was only one man I would trust to help me with this, and that was Wade. And I'm so stoked that he's going to be the head builder, helping me get that build up there out of the ground. Wade's the boss and I'm the apprentice. How did that happen? So Wade and I got to work setting up profiles. Wade, I don't know if I can use DeWalt. It's not Milwaukee.
Black and yellow. That's right, part of the fun of building.
That is... These are all leftovers from another job that were not good enough to use and then sat on site too long, so we can't send them back. Basically every job has wastage. So we save it and then we're going to reuse it. All these profiles are temporary. We put them up and then we put the string up, and then once the foundations are down we take the profiles down, and then this all can either get reused again or chucked out. But at least we've given it one more life. And this is super exciting and super fun. Finally, it's starting to feel real and very scary. Personally, I like to be super efficient, and it's kind of like, you know, when you go to the supermarket and you're like, must do every shopping bag in one load. It's the same on a building site if you're a good apprentice. We used to have the craziest silly comp. We'd be bringing in plywood. We'd start with 1 sheet, then 2 sheets, then 4 sheets, and then the next thing, old mate over there is trying to carry 6 sheets in. Profiles are temporary structures that you put in the corners of the building, but you build them dimensionally correct height-wise. They're usually about 1 meter wide, and you build them to the correct height. The first 2 tools you use as a builder kicking off a site is a piece of string and spray paint. Hold it loosely so it can unravel itself. The moment I saw those profiles go up, I was like, whoa, they are high out of the ground. Have we stuffed this up? Yeah boy, 100k subs, how good. But do you know what would be even better? If the 75% of you that aren't subscribed, go ahead, click the button, help us out. So we've got our floor plan, we've got the lay of the house and how we want to do it. And on this page here, 104, you can see that it's a high level 2D image. So then we get our topographical survey, which is the lay of the land, and we put that in the computer and we put all of those things over it. You're also probably wondering, what are all these random dots and numbers, and what do those numbers relate to? Basically, they relate to medium sea level. Someone in 1953 decided what the median sea level is, and then that's a benchmark for the country. You can see that at the start of my driveway, we're 116 meters above sea level. But you can see very quickly on the build platform here, it drops to 110 meters above sea level. And you can see right down here at the top of the page, it drops a further 7 meters to 103 meters above sea level. On top of that, you have these squiggly lines. Basically, those show you the contour of the land, and every line is a set distance. On this plan here, the lines are a meter apart. So every line is a reduction in 1 meter of height in relation to median sea level. We did the topo first, and you should too. If you're in the Wellington region, I highly recommend the survey company. The floor plan and the topographical plan start to tell a story. On this one here, you can see we're doing a big block wall against the southeast side of the boundary. Poured concrete for that yesterday, so excited. Wade, we're about to get concrete.
Woo!
First concrete down.
Concrete in.
That's the highest, riskiest part of the job.
I think you can text them back and say, everything's under control.
You can see on this plan here, we got 4 types of earthworks on this plan. The red shaded zones are cuts. Red zones with blue lines are cut batters. That's like a slope. The green shaded zones are fill. One of the other cool things about a topographical survey is that they will confirm where your boundary pegs are. And so we found and confirmed and reliable a boundary peg here. There's also one along here. That gave us a parallel line to start setting out. But how did we work all that out? Like, that was not just click your fingers once and it happened. How much higher than that are we going?
Not that much higher.
I was fortunate to have the help of Anna at Prime Design. And Anna very patiently let me sit next to her while she would model these up. The very first version of the house was floating 4 meters out of the ground. And I sat next to Anna at her desk and we drew the lines and was like, straight away, I knew that it wasn't gonna work. This phase for me was actually really fun. Seeing the model on the computer change up and down. It's like getting to be a builder, but like instant, real time. And the ability to look at the screen and say, if I spend a year building that on site, it will be wrong. And being able to decide that in the moment on a computer screen is really, really valuable. Every time I went through one of these changes with Anna, I would keep coming back to the brief. We're building a house for 4 teenage boys. What's the perfect level for where we're going? For me, it was twofold. I'm the builder and I'm the homeowner. So like, I have to live with the decisions I make. You know, sometimes as a builder, it's easy to be like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how they came to that. And then you just get on with it. When you're the guy living in the house and you're the guy building the house, there is so much pressure to make the right decisions. So I feel your pain, guys. I know what it's like going through this decision process. Long story short, all of that work I did side by side with Anna in the computer gave me the confidence to lock in a height. Do we need, how much higher than that are we going?
Not that much higher.
We are figuring out how high our house is going to be. It is higher than that, apparently.
Whoa, they are high out of the ground. Have we stuffed this up? Where have I gone wrong?
My dream is that the house and the land are almost like even. You don't have to step down too far to get to the lawn. So and then I'm like, man, where are we going to get all that dirt from?
But then I remembered the work we'd spent with Anna, and I remembered going over the layers of the slab corner by corner. And confidence comes from knowing that you have a thorough plan. And each time I reviewed it, I thought, no, I'm confident. Our design, our plan is sound. Because we didn't wing it, we worked through it. Each step of the way, we cross-checked back. We keep measuring back to our boundary pegs. The other cool thing about this profile phase is it's a chance for Wade and myself to start getting the physical aspects of the build in our head. How are we going to start? Where are we going to start? What are we going to do first? These string lines serve so many purposes. Look at this. That's our corner of our building, approximate to be confirmed. That's enough work for one day, but what we're going to do next is plumb that up. So using a big level, we will make the string line in the air match the survey pin on the ground. So already I can see it all needs to go that way a little bit, but that's fine. Like now we've got something to adjust. But for me, most importantly, we're going to be standing out there looking at that and standing there looking out at that, and that's going to be like mint. You'll be able to say, I remember when it was just a piece of string. You were here on day one when it was a piece of string. How long is a piece of string? Right. Yo, sign up squad. Guess what? We've got a new logo and we're about to do an epic merch drop, but more on that next week. Today, what I want to talk to you about is trusting the plan. It's totally normal to doubt a decision you've made. It's totally normal to go back and think, was I right? When you make the decision, you're excited. You've got the facts, it's fresh in your mind, and so you lock it in with confidence. But as time goes on, as things change, as people say stuff, doubt creeps in. And it might be a little bit to start with, but that doubt gets bigger and bigger and bigger. At some point though, you need to decide, is the confidence you had back here going to trump, or is the doubt you've got here going to suffocate your project? Doubt is a super normal thing, and there is a time to fold and walk away. For me here, however, I knew that our plan was sound. I knew that I hadn't just picked a height on a whim. I knew that there was a lot of thought and a lot of input from far smarter people than me. So I knew that I was on the right track, and I just trusted that process. Obviously, you can't be reckless. Obviously, you need to take it step by step. Whether you're trying to build a house or start a business, move country, whatever epic goal you've got, trust the confidence you had when you first made the decision. I always think about running a marathon. Halfway through the run, I always think, what the heck was I thinking? This is the worst thing in my life. And then, you go another couple of kilometers and you get close to the finish line and you get a second win and you cross it and you're like, oh, that's good. I wonder if I can beat my time next time. And it's the same with projects. Keep pushing. You can do it.